Shalom, bonjour, and welcome to a very special edition of Hashtag News. I'm Josh, Director of Operations with The Rival, and today we're going to be talking about Slack, the internal communications platform that will allow you to talk to anyone on your team at your school or anyone on any team at any school by using the Rival Network Slack chat. Without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to join your school's Slack chat. So first thing you're going to do is go to your email. Someone will have invited you to Slack. You're going to click on this invitation and you're going to click join, and then it'll say your school's name, right? In this case, we're doing Indiana University. And then it will prompt you to create a username. So make that your first name dash your last name, or if you want to get creative, you of course are able to do that if you like. Create a password. Please make this something that you can remember, okay? Because you're going to use it again when you join a different team. Great. Once you hit next, save the password if that's a possibility. And you should see a couple notifications up at the top. One telling you to try out the Slack Mac app. You might see something about enabling desktop notifications. If you see enable desktop notifications, do enable them. And also, I would download the Slack Mac app, but we're going to handle this later. For now, let's exit out of this. Now, if Slack prompts you to do a tutorial, just go ahead and skip it, okay? That's what this is. The very first thing I want you to do after enabling desktop notifications is save this page, okay? Create a bookmark if you're using Chrome, Safari, Firefox, whatever your browser is. Set a bookmark in your browser. The very first thing you're going to want to do once you actually get into the Slack interface is set up your profile. So in order to do that, click the drop down here at the top left, go to View Profile and Account. That'll bring up this team directory setting right here, this panel on the right side. You're going to want to hit Edit. And the first thing you want to do is upload your photo. So navigate through your computer, find a good photo of yourself. I'm going to go with this picture of Howard Stern. Oh no, it's too big. Let's try a different one. Find a picture of yourself. I'm going to go with this picture of me and my buddy Elliot. Awesome. We're going to reposition it so we fit in the frame. Now you're going to fill in the actual information about yourself. I'm going to go with Josh. Last name is Strupp. What I do, I am the Director of Operations at HQ. And then I'm going to do sidebar and something more personable. Lover of Skittles. I do love Skittles. For you, you want to actually put in your position at your school. So, for example, Director of Communication at Rochester. You want to do staff writer at Ole Miss. You get the idea. Just make sure to follow that with a bar and something about yourself. Blink 182 fangirl. You get the idea. Be sure to mention your school as well. Don't forget. You're going to want to enter your phone number after that. And you can skip the Skype. Great. Hit Save Changes. Once that's done, you officially have a profile. Congratulations. Now, when you chat in any of the channels, if someone clicks on your name, they're going to see your full profile information. So, you know, there's me, there's my position, and there's something about myself, right? Good stuff. The next thing you want to do is set up your notification preferences. So, again, we're going to go to this drop down here. We're going to go to Preferences this time, not View Profile and Account. And the first tab is Notifications. Click on Notification Settings to get dropped down. You want to keep all activity turned on, okay? Now you can change this depending on the channel, but right now you want to keep all activity on. You'll be able to change this from all activity to only direct messages and highlight words. That means if someone is directly contacting you or says something that is relevant to you, you will get alerted. But right now, keep all activity on. You can change this channel by channel at a later point. Great. If you scroll down past all of this stuff, you get to something called highlight words. Now for highlight words, I want you to be sure to put down important words that you might want to be notified of when they are mentioned by anyone on your team. So that may be your position and the plural version of your position, the variations of your school name, buzzwords that are relevant to you, right? You're going to repeat this process once again for HQ, but right now you're doing your school Slack chat. So highlight words, for example, if I'm an editor, I'd probably want to put in editor, probably the name of my section. All this is separated by commas, by the way. Maybe something that is really relevant to my section, so election 2016, right? Don't bother putting your name. You're already going to be notified if someone mentions your name, so don't worry about that. But you get the idea. Write down your position, write down things that are relevant to you, write down any words that you'd want to be notified about if they are mentioned. The next part is more for fun. right? This is actually, I think, something that's very important. You don't necessarily have to do it, but I think it's crucial. If you look here on my Slack desktop app, and I'm going to show you how to download this later, what you'll see is a bunch of different teams lining the left side. The top being the Rival Network Slack chat. The rest of these are individual schools that I've set up for you guys. Now, if you'll see, they are each color-coded to the specific school's colors. This is something that is obviously very important to me. I think this personalizes the experience for everyone, and I think it's something that you guys should all do for your Slack chats. So, you're probably asking yourself right now, well, how do I change the color of my sidebar theme in order to match my school's colors? It's very simple. So let's go back into the desktop browser here. We're going to stay in preferences, and we're going to go past notifications, messages and media, and onto sidebar. Great. Once you're at sidebar, at the bottom right, you're going to see customize your theme and share it with others. Click that, and you're going to see, well, a bunch of hex codes for colors, which might be meaningless to you, but it's okay. I've already done the legwork for you. So if you actually exit out of this, go into your general channel, you're actually going to see at the top that I have given you instructions on how to change your theme settings. At the bottom here, if you copy and paste these hex codes into that spot we were just at, so going back to preferences, back to sidebar theme, down to this very bottom box where it says copy and paste these values to share your custom theme with others, bam, it changes, just like that. No need to hit save anywhere, just exit out of here, and you've got Slack set up to your school's theme. Pretty cool. The next thing you're going to want to do is join channels and adjust the notification settings for each of those channels. You're probably going to have channels for different sections, different types of positions, so maybe a writer chat or an editor chat. You might even have one that is for special projects. You might have one that is for just important announcements, right? The directors are going to create this, but in order to choose which channels you'd like to join, click channels here in the sidebar, and you're going to see a list of them. Right now you only see one, so just so I can show you, creating a new channel is very simple. If you're a director, you will have the ability to do this. Let's just call it important. You can invite other people that are already invited to your team to join it, or you can keep it public and people can just, well, join whenever. If you'd like to make it private, just switch this on and off. And then enter the purpose of the channel. This is for important announcements only. Great, create channel. Okay, so if I go back to the home screen, I'm actually, I haven't joined the important channel yet, but I want to. I want to be informed on these important announcements that are school-wide. I'd go to channels, I'd navigate to important, I'd click on it. And as you can see, it's added to my channels, but I haven't actually joined yet. At the very, very bottom, you're going to see a green button that says Join Channel. Click that, and you've officially joined the channel. Now you can talk to people. So before we actually explore the interface, I want you to do a couple more things. The first is go and download the mobile app, okay? It is available on Android, it is available on iOS, as I'm sure most of you are on iOS. Just go to the App Store, type in Slack, and download. The second thing is the desktop app. I think this is a very, very useful application to have on your desktop. This is what it looks like on mine. Here you'll be able to switch from team to team. So if I was at American University, you can ignore the rest of these schools, but if I was at American University, I could swap from American University to the Rival Network chat very, very easily, right? Real simple. It also gives you desktop notifications, which is very, very nice as well. Cool. The other thing about downloading the mobile app is I'd really, really love if you moved it to your front page of your phone. There's going to be a lot of important messages going on there. You're going to be learning a lot about what is going on around your school if you are interconnected with all these people. I think it is very important that you stay in the loop and move Slack to your home page. I'd appreciate it. Thanks. Now that you've set up your profile and set your preferences, the next thing we want to do is actually explore the interface. So I'm going to start at the top left here, this drop down by where your school's name is, okay? There's a lot of stuff happening here for me. You're not actually going to see all these teams, but what you will see is preferences, which you're familiar with, view profile and account, which you're familiar with, help and feedback, that seems pretty obvious, get Slack apps, which is actually where you can click to go download the desktop app for your respective operating system, or even download the mobile app, although it's probably easier to do it actually from your mobile operating system. Let's exit out of that. You can set yourself away. That's something you can do. I wouldn't worry about that really. Apps and custom integrations, don't worry about this. I'm actually going to be integrating great things like Google Hangouts, Google Drive, different task managers, different robots. Yes, there are robots in Slack. I'm going to be integrating these things along the way and showing you how to use them, so don't worry about that for now. Customized Slack, again, don't worry about that. And team directory. This is actually very useful. If you click on team directory, it'll show you an entire directory of everyone within your team, right? Intuitive enough? Cool. It's also here that you'll be able to switch to different teams. So if you're, in Ole Miss's team directory, like so, and you want to switch to the rival network chat, you'll just click on the drop down. You'll see right here, switch to the rival. Bam. Just like that. Cool. Let me go back to Indiana. To give you a little tour of the sidebar here, you're going to see the username that you're using right here, the different channels that you are currently in. Of course, you can click channels to actually go join new ones. And right here, you're going to see direct messages. Now, this is where you can send direct messages, right? One-on-one messages that are a lot like Instant Messenger or Facebook chat or whatever you're familiar with, so that you can talk to one individual person. Very useful. In order to start a new chat, you'll just click this plus right here. Cool. Down at the bottom, you see something called the Quick Switcher. This allows you to jump to channels, jump to different teams, right? It becomes very useful if you're using Slack a lot, which I hope all of you are. Let's talk about the actual Messenger window, which is going to be this big window in the middle where most of your activity is going to be taking place. So let me leave a couple comments here. This is a comment. God, I'm creative. God, I'm creative. So cool. Right? Lots of comments, okay? You're going to see a bunch of these. And there's a couple things you can do with them. One, when someone joins, you're going to see that they joined. If someone changes the name of the channel or does anything to the settings for the channel, you're going to see that pop up here. Obviously, you type down here, you hit enter to actually send the message. You can add emojis, right? So, I mean, these are the exact same as the ones that you see commonplace on the iPhone. There are, of course, custom ones from Slack. You can actually add a custom emoji, but I'll let you explore that on your own. Please don't worry about that right now. Finish the tutorial first. Thank you. All right. So there's a couple of really cool things you can do. Number one, let's say you love that I showed you how to change your theme settings and you want to express that love through the form of an emoji. Well, if you hit this little plus icon right here, add a reaction, you can literally add a reaction. Oh, look at that. It's adorable. You loved it. And then I'd be able to hover over it and see that you liked it. Cool. You may also delete your own comments if you've, posted them and then you want to change it or you regret doing it or you say something that's incriminating. I don't know what you're doing. But if you want to delete the comments, you just hit on this ellipsis point here. You can edit the message itself or you can delete the message. Cool. All right, let's go to this little plus icon right here. Upload a file is very, very obvious if you want to send a photo or a presentation, right? This can support many, many file formats, so you can send pretty much anything. Create a snippet. This is largely for coding purposes. Do not worry about this. And finally, create a post. I think creating a post is actually very, very useful for people that want to share articles before they're published. So if you hit create a post, it'll take you to a new page. And what you can do is you can name the post. This is a new post. You can, type a bunch of paragraphs here, right? Easy stuff. And then you can hit share. You can leave it to post it. This is my latest post. Check it out and leave some comments. Great. You hit enter, it shares. Once you go back to your Slack chat, you'll see there's a new post right here. And what you'd actually be able to do is view this post and leave comments of your own. Another extremely useful part of this, and this is something you could have done in a very limited level in GroupMe. You can already do it sort of in Twitter, but it's way more useful in Slack. Here's how it works. Using the @ sign, you can notify a specific person. You can notify everyone in a channel. You can notify everyone there. You can do here, so that's for people that are only online if you want to answer a question very quickly. It's very, very useful. I would suggest using @ often, very often. So again, if you ever want to collapse these panels, you can just hit this X right here. In order to see who else is in the specific chat or channel that you're in, you can click on this little man up here. This also allows you to see pinned items. So before, when I clicked on this ellipsis point, you see pinned to general. This allows you to save important messages and go back to see what you've pinned. So if I pin this, I'm going to say yes, pin this message. You're going to see that that message is pinned right here, so I can go back and look at it. Cool. It's also here that you can get channel details, right? Shared files. You get the idea. If you click either here on this little man or here on the information button, it's going to bring up these little drop-down menus. We're going to see pinned items, channel description, the members of your team, shared files, which includes posts or anything that people have uploaded, and your notification preferences. If you click on this @ sign here, you're going to see any mentions where you were mentioned, or the group that you were in is mentioned, or any of your buzzwords, right? This is where you're going to be able to see your mentions. Star, obviously if you favorite things, they'll be listed here, so it's sort of like pinning, but it's a little bit easier. So, you know, let's say, again, I really, really love that this right here was added to the chat. I can hit star, and you'll see this message shows up in my starred items. Finally, if you click on this ellipsis point, you can see kind of further details. There's, you know, more than one way to get to these things, right? A lot of these options were available in the settings over here. But either way, if you click here, you can see all the files you've uploaded, all the files that exist in the channel, the entire team directory. You can get help, and you can see what's new to Slack. But that, in a nutshell, is the interface of Slack. Cool, right? So now that you've joined your team, you've joined channels, you understand the interface, it's time to pretty much do the process over again and join the Rival Network Slack chat. This is important, okay? This is what it looks like. Here is where you'll see our different channels, so director chat, editor chat, general, hashtag news, writer chat, strategy chat. You get the idea. Here is where everyone, so hundreds and hundreds of writers, editors, strategists, directors, just tons of people, tons of really, really brilliant, creative people can get together and exchange ideas, ask questions, whatever it may be. So you're going to get an email asking you to join the Rival, not your school's Slack chat, but the Rival team. And when you do, just repeat the motions, right? Go and set up your profile, change your preferences accordingly, join channels, and then you'll be good to go. So I hope this has been extremely helpful. I'm Josh, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.